We're going to turn now to Dan Dellinger. He's the head of the American Legion, the group leading the charge to replace Secretary Shinseki. Commander, we're glad to have you. Well, you just heard the White House Chief of Staff. He keeps talking about increased resources and finding ways to reduce unemployment for our veterans, but he never really, to my mind, specifically addressed this problem. He will not admit that there's a cooking of the books going on right now to make it appear that these people don't have to wait. He, at this point, as Dana Milbank of the Washington Post has pointed out, has not asked the Justice Department to investigate yet. They keep saying, well, we're investigating. What's your reaction to all of this?
Well, we realize that the administration has done a lot for the veterans, but that isn't the issue. The issue is we're having veterans die waiting for the care that they've earned. And it all goes back, and they keep talking about waiting for this study to be done. Well, there's been almost 50 IG reports, from my understanding, from what the Senate stated during that testimony on Thursday, that this has been an ongoing problem. And we hold Secretary Shinseki to the highest standards here. I mean, he should be coming forth with the same leadership he showed in the military as a 4-star general into the VA, and it just hasn't happened. The accountability's not been there, and I think it is systematic of the entire system. It needs a cultural change there, and we just haven't seen it.
Do you want to hear from the president himself? It does seem a bit unusual. For 3 weeks now, the president himself has not felt the need to speak out personally about this, if I'm correct.
Exactly. We need the White House, the president, to come forward. He needs to make a statement to show the employees of VA that this needs to change now. One death is tragic, but when you hide it, that's unforgivable.
And now we have this report coming this morning from the Dayton Daily News talking about that more than $34 million in claims have been paid out by the government for people who listed delay of payment. And some of this came as a result of court actions. Some of it the VA just did voluntarily. So this would suggest that this may be even wider and broader than we know about.
I believe it is. I mean, we've heard reports of this in single cases, but to have all these figures put together is really a striking, and it shows the lack of accountability and the egregious mismanagement of the entire system. That's why I feel that cultural change is necessary.
Well, what do you think went wrong here when you say cultural change is necessary?
Well, everyone's getting bonuses, and I don't have the figure as to how many bonuses have been issued by the VA, but it seems like they're getting bonuses for just doing their job. Even when you have preventable deaths, like the Legionella outbreak in 2011 in Pittsburgh, the then director Moreland got a $63,000 bonus for veterans dying under his watch. And it goes all the way down to even the clerks. Everybody seems to get a bonus for doing their job.
Well, where do you think the buck stops here?
Well, the buck's got to stop at the top. I mean, it's accountability. I mean, if it was a CEO, and we've heard many CEOs lately of major corporations stepping down, if this was a military, you'd be relieved of duty. So that is why we called for the secretary and the 2 undersecretaries, Hickey and Petzel, to step down. And of course, Undersecretary Petzel has given his resignation, but he was already scheduled to leave, and his replacement had already been named. So this seems to us to be business as usual, and we haven't seen that quick, proactive versus reactive culture that change we'd like to see.
All right. Well, Commander, we thank you for joining us this morning, and we'll stay on this story.
Thank you very much, Bob.